Good morning. So in this video, we will be talking about globalization. So the simplest definition of it is an economic phenomenon, a social phenomenon, and a cultural phenomenon. Pero ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng phenomenon? One explanation of it is an observable fact or an event. Ibig sabihin, pwede nating makita, pwede nating maramdaman, o kaya pwede nating maobserbahan. Because it is an object or aspect known through the senses rather than by thoughts or intuition. Anong ibig sabihin ng intuition? Yun ay yung parang nararamdaman mo lang, pakiramdam mo lang na nangyayari. Pero hindi ganun ang globalization. Ang globalization is ito yung no-obserban mo talaga kung ano ang takbo ng isang economy. Kasi it is a scientific context eh. It is something that is observed through occurrence or to occur or to exist. This means, contrast with the understanding of the word or general usage of it as something extraordinary or outstanding. For example na lang yung gravity, yung alon, those are types of phenomenon na pwede nating maobserbahan pero amazing kasi somehow hindi siya kayang i-define ng normal na tao. And through research, yun nga a researcher or scientist, pwede nilang maobserbahan ito and malaman kung paano nangyayari. And the same is true with globalization. Another definition of globalization is the movement towards the expansion of economic and social ties between countries through the spread of corporate institutions and the capitalist philosophy that leads to the shrinking of the world. That is in economic terms. Now, globalization could involve all of these things: accountability, terrorism, shrinking worlds, technology, the internet, free trade, culture, capitalism, monopoly power, environment, integration of economies, equity and inequity, communication, recognition, trade versus aid, outsourcing, brands, exploitation, growth, and poverty. Now, in the integration of economies, the increase of reliance of economies on each other will be much observed dahil sila-sila rin lang ang nagtutulungan in the business world. Ibig sabihin, sila-sila din lang ang nagbibilihan, sila-sila din lang ang nagsasamahan, and the opportunities to be able to buy and sell in any country in the world. The opportunities for labor and capital to locate anywhere in the world and the growth of global markets in finance. It is made possible by technology, communication works, or communication networks, the internet access, growth of economic cooperation or cooperation, the collapse of communism, and movement of free trade. So, ang globalization ay ang pagkakakonekta ng bawat negosyo sa bawat bansa ay mas napapadali. Kasi for example, yung product sa China, madaling ipadala sa Pilipinas, and yung product ng Pilipinas, papadala sa India, and then yung products ng India, papadala sa all over parts of the world, di ba? So, one product that is available in one country will be made available in another country because of connection. And this is one of the effects of the globalization. Meron din kasi tayong tinatawag na trade and aid. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng trade, ito yung magpapalitan ng isang item. However, ang aid naman, ito yung tulong. Now, the benefits of trade is that meron kang ipapalit na item mo and sila din, meron din silang ipapalit na item nila. Kaya, mas marami kang pagpipilian. And kapag mas marami kang pagpipilian, this will lead to a potential increase of revenue. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung kikitain mo. And mas mababawasan yung competition mo sa market. And yung item mo or yung product mo, mas matagal yung lifespan niya and easier cash flow management. Ibig sabihin, mas madali mong mapapagalaw ang pera mo. And there's a greater potential for growth, lalong-lalo na sa negosyo mo, mas magkakaroon ka ng maraming items. And of course, yung items na yun, kailangan ng mga tao. And because of globalization, increase of international economies will scale up and greater employment opportunities. Siyempre, pag maraming negosyo, mas marami ang trabaho. Kapag mas maraming kumpanya, mas maraming produkto o kaya mas maraming service na may offer. And it is true that trade has led to massive increases in wealth for many countries. However, meron pa ring disadvantages ito. Kahit na gaano kaganda ang trade sa economy, meron pa rin siyang disadvantage. And isa na nga dito is the increase in gap between the rich and the poor. So the rich become more rich and the poor becomes more poor. Kasi kung ganun nga kasi yung ganap, mas maraming mabibili o mas maraming mayayaman ang magtatayo ng iba't ibang negosyo. And yung mga hindi rin kayamanan o kaya mga mahirap, mas mahihirapan sila na palaguin ang kanilang negosyo. And actually, hindi lang din ito sa mga nagbi-business, pati rin ito sa mga nagtatrabaho. Basically kasi, countries trade with each other when they do not have the resources or the capacity to satisfy their own needs or want. So, ayun nga, kapag kulang yung item ng isang bansa, pwedeng mag-develop yung isang businessman at kukuha siya dun sa kabilang bansa. Tsaka nga niya ngayon ibebenta dito sa atin, for example. At sila naman doon sa kabilang bansa, mas marami yung kanilang items. Pero, dahil nga mayayaman lang ang pwedeng bumili ng maraming items, kaya yung mga mahirap, nahihirapan sila mag-grow. In the Philippines kasi, one of the globalization na ginagawa natin is that we are sending people. Halimbawa, mga nurses, mga engineer, pupunta sila ng ibang bansa and doon nila ginagamit yung expertise nila. Pero ang nangyayari, tayo naman ngayon ang nakukulangan ng nurses, ng engineer at ng mga doktor. Kaya there are pros and cons of trade. Another disadvantage of trade is that lack of opportunities for the poor to be able to have access to markets. So exploitation of workers and growers. So ayun nga, goods and services are likely to be imported from abroad for several reasons. Imports may be cheaper or of better quality. Actually, meron nga lumalabas ngayon dito sa Philippines. Sabi nila, tangkilikin ang sariling atin. Which is magandang idea naman talaga yon. Kailangan nating tangkilikin ang sariling atin. Pero yun nga, kapag ang sariling atin is a lower quality na ino-offer ng ibang bansa, me personally, mas gugustuhin kong bumili ng imported qualities na better ang quality kahit na mas mahal. Kesa yung sa atin, lower nga yung kanyang price pero lower din ang kanyang quality. Don't you agree? Kaya if we want to pass that slogan, kailangan talaga natin mas bigyan ng halaga ang quality ng mga products natin or services that goes as well sa government. Kasi the production of goods and service in countries, it is based on two fundamental principles. The first one is the division of labor and the specialization. So, from the word itself, division of labor. Ang pinakamadaling explanation dito na division of labor, it means breaking down the production into smaller divisions. Like for example, if you wanna make a car, di ba? May tatao sa engine, may tatao sa body, mayroong tatao sa paint, ganoon siya. And all of those things are interconnected tasks. And then allocating these tasks to different workers based on the sustainability ng kanyang kakayanan. And of course, efficiency. If we will apply this internationally, a division of labor means that the country produce just a small range of goods or service that may contribute only a small part to finished products sold in global markets. For example, a bar chocolate or chocolate bar. Yun, marami yung ingredients, marami yung laman. Pero, hindi lang siya nanggagaling sa isang bansa. Yung mga items o yung mga ingredients na yun, nanggagaling din siya sa iba't ibang lugar. Like for example, yung cocoa, yung nuts, pwede rin yung nuts, maglalagay sila ng nuts. And then yung machineries, di ba, nanggagaling yun sa iba't ibang bansa. So, that is one aspect of division of labor. The next one is specialization or specialization. This is the second fundamental principles associated with trade. And it is the result of division of labor. Given that each worker or each producer is given a specialized role, they are most likely to become efficient contributors to all overseas. Kaya nga, kapag ang isang bansa meron siyang specialized field or product na kaya niyang i-offer sa buong mundo, siya na ang magpro-provide sa iba't ibang lugar. So, hindi lang yun patungkol sa pagkain, sa items. The specialization can be applied to individuals, firms, machinery, and technology. And the whole country can specialize on one or two things. Actually, kung marami, okay lang din. As long as they are truly specialized on that area. I mean, specialists in that area. And isa pa, meron din tayong term kasi na tinatawag na corporate expansion. Ibig sabihin nito, yung mga korporasyon, mas lalo silang nagpapalawak, mas lalo silang nagpaparami. They are businesses with headquarters in one country, but with business operations in numbers of others. Katulad ng Coca-Cola, McDonald's, pwede na rin yung Jollibee, di ba? Nagpapalawig sila o nagpapalawak sila sa iba't ibang bansa. And sa paggawa nila ng ganito, marami silang na-hire na worker. And habang marami silang na-hire na worker, mas dumarami o kaya mas tumalaki yung profit nila or ang revenue nila. Mas bumababa yung cost, sourcing of raw materials, mas madali kasi pwede na silang mag-outsource ng item in that specific country. And controlled din yung supplies nila and then yung process. However, meron pa ring issue dito. Katulad kapag nag-expand sila ng kanilang lugar or nag-expand sila ng kanilang business sa isang lugar, madadamage yung environment. And maybe, underpaid yung mga laborers. Exploitation ng tawag doon. And monopoly of power. Ibig sabihin sila na lang ang pagkukunan ng item na yun. Sa tingin ko, isa na rin dito yung Apple. Diba? Yung Apple, lahat na lang ng items or service kailangan nandoon lang sa kanilang circle or company. Next, key issue in corporate domination is economic degradation, non-renewable resources, and damage to cultures. Bakit malaking issue ito, damage to culture? Kasi from the Western culture, McDonald's, dadalhin mo dito sa Philippines is magkakaroon ng shift. Although hindi naman ganoon kalaki, pero magkakaroon pa rin talaga ng impact. So, pwedeng kayo na ang humusga kung maganda ba o pangit ang globalization. So, to sum it all up, ganito siya. One country needs something and the other one have that needs. So, the country that have it will sell it or he will trade it to that country who needs it. Ulitin ko in Tagalog, ang isang bansa, wala siya at nangangailangan. Pero yung kabilang bansa, meron siya. Kaya ang pwede niyang gawin, ibebenta niya o ipapalit niya doon sa kabilang bansa na wala yung item. It can be an item, a service, or a worker.